is presented by Mutual of Omaha, people you can count on.
Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. It has been said quite truthfully that the future of the world lies in the hands of our young people. We might well paraphrase that to say, the future of the world's wildlife lies in the hands of our young people. With this in mind, when we see the wildlife projects being engaged in all across our country by the Girl Scouts, we can revel in a warm feeling of accomplishment. In our special report today on Girl Scouting, we will see how young girls are learning how to appreciate wildlife, have concern for our environment, and better understand the nature of the world of the out-of-doors. Our report first takes us here to the area of San Diego, California. That's the location of the North County Wildlife Rescue and Treatment Center, where Girl Scouts of the San Diego Imperial Council are working diligently with wildlife, particularly animals in special need of help. Such girls are doing their best to make sure that Tom Canothy did not have an accurate view of the future when he wrote, "When the sky has been swept clean of eagles and the wind carries only echoes of the past, what will you answer when the children ask, 'Where are the animals? Did you see them go?'" The great horned owl is only one of a variety of animals which are annually brought here. Usually they are injured and nursed back to health by Girl Scouts and rehabilitated into the wild. The Girl Scouts develop a great sense of pride, not only in rehabilitating wildlife, but in learning much about the lives and habits of different animals. This red-tailed hawk came here with a broken wing. Left to its own devices, a magnificent free spirit of the out-of-doors would have perished. Instead, it will soon fly free again due to Girl Scout concern. Oftentimes, special feedings of a nutritious formula fortified with added protein and vitamins helps restore health swiftly, as in the case of this mule deer fawn. Some animals learn the procedures here too well, such as this ready-for-release raccoon being exercised by Girl Scouts. It has learned to take every advantage when it comes to food. This is another wild animal that might have died except for the care received here. It was part of a litter whose mother was killed before it was weaned. Brought to the center here, bottle feeding kept it alive and healthy. In a few more days, the job will be done. The raccoon will be released, and the Girl Scouts will once again feel a sense of pride and the real flush of achievement which comes with helping preserve a portion of nature which would have been lost without such dedication. With some animals, it's only a matter of raising young ones, like these raccoons, until they're self-sufficient and can be released. With other animals, it's different. When injuries have been sustained, then it often becomes necessary to force the animal to exercise to regain strength. In the case of this bobcat, he suffered a broken leg, so making him climb for his food helps exercise the healing leg and strengthen it. Raw meat ranks as the #1 food for the bobcat. Very soon, with that bad leg having been brought back to full strength again, he'll be on his own in the wilds and hunting prey for himself with as much stamina as he ever had. Good medical care is assured here by veterinarian Dr. Dave Kenny.
Hi, Jolene. Lisa.
Hi.
How's it going today?
Fine. Okay.
We're going to give these animals some shots today.
What types are they?
It's distemper shot, and we're going to give them in a couple of weeks another distemper shot and another rabies shot and prevent some very, very serious diseases. You ready for yours?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. There you go. Okay. Now it's time to feed them.
What do they eat?
Well, today we're going to feed it a little chicken. It's really important that we, here, why don't you take a piece for him? Take a piece for him. And we'll get these off of here. And this is raw meat. And when they were babies, of course, we had to feed them milk just like all other babies. But we have to convert them to raw meat as quickly as possible. That's what they're going to do out in nature when they go free. You also want to be very careful about petting them and doing all those things you might do to a baby kitten. Okay, Girl Scouts, I think it's time to take them back to their cages and let them finish up their meal and go to sleep.
Okay.
The bobcats here at the center, as well as all the other wild animals, get very special care in all ways. In every case, those animals brought here for treatment and rehabilitation are in very good hands. After the Girl Scouts have helped to fully rehabilitate the animals at the North County Wildlife Rescue and Treatment Center, the animals are then taken 60 miles northeast of San Diego to be released. This occurs in the wilderness of the Girl Scout Camp Winaka, located in the mountains at the edge of Cleveland National Forest. There is a special joy for the Girl Scouts when they come to Camp Winaka with the North County Wildlife Rescue and Treatment Center's director, Marge Canothy. She oversees the final release of animals, such as the coyotes scheduled for release today. Being carried to this place has not frightened the coyote, which doesn't realize yet that freedom is at hand. Even when the final barrier to escape is swung wide, it takes a while for the animal to get accustomed to the idea. The coyote will be safe in his new freedom within this sanctuary. For a Girl Scout, it's a wonderful feeling to know that the world of nature has today been enriched because she cared and worked hard. No matter how often it occurs, for the girls, there's never a diminishing of the sense of accomplishment inspired by such releases. Setting animals free like this becomes real proof of the positive effect on the environment that the Girl Scouts are having. Literally hundreds of animals like this coyote, after being seriously injured or desperately ill, have been nursed to health by the Girl Scouts. Occasionally, a wild animal suffers injuries which cripple it permanently. High on Inspiration Point, the value of just such an animal is explained to the Girl Scouts of Project Wildlife by Mary Chimarusti.
Girls, this is Spirit, a 4-year-old red-tailed hawk. And he was brought into the center with a gunshot wound to his left wing. The Spirit won't be able to go back out into his environment, so we use him for education, to show the importance of our red tails. So we take him to our communities and our schools.
What does he eat?
Oh, he eats rodents and snakes and lizards.
Well, does he live in this area?
He lives all over the United States, and he is protected by federal law. Today we have Bob Prather from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and he's going to be banding a red-tailed hawk to release back out into the environment.
What we're going to do today is place this Fish and Wildlife Service band on this red-tailed hawk that's been rehabilitated.
Why do you ban them?
Well, we want to find out how effective the program is, where the birds go, and how long they live.
What should a person do if he finds a bird that's been banded?
Well, the band has an address on it, and if you find it, you write to that address with the information as to where the bird was found. Would you like to turn him loose?
Continuing our special report on Girl Scouting in the United States of America, we move to Wyoming and the tiny town of Ten Sleep at the southern edge of the Bighorn National Forest. In the remote wilds, some 10 miles east of Ten Sleep, is the place many girls have dreamed of sometime going, the famous Girl Scout National Center West. Located in the area of Canyon Creek Canyon, it provides memorable experiences in the world of the out-of-doors, exposing Girl Scouts to such exciting things as backpacking hikes down rugged trails and past ancient Indian pictographs on the canyon walls. This archaeological treasure brings the past excitingly alive. Horseback riding, saddle straddling they call it, is also an outstanding outdoor experience for the girls. Horses play an extremely important part in their lives at the Girl Scout National Center West, and the equestrian skills they develop while they are here are little short of amazing. The emphasis in all activities is to develop in the girls a genuine concern for the world of the out-of-doors and a desire to perpetuate it unspoiled. With the Girl Scouts today for our special report on their activities in Wyoming is Dick Denny.
This camp is only one of many at Girl Scout National Center West. It is located high on the rim of the canyon, overlooking Canyon Creek. The group here are both junior and cadet Girl Scouts from Wyoming, who are preparing to explore this wilderness area by horseback and on foot. These backpackers are heading out for an overnight hike in the canyon. Accompanying them is Carolyn Kennedy, the Girl Scouts National Wildlife Project Director. The leader of the entire group here is Carol McCormick. The backpackers are all set to go, but we'll meet them all again later on the trail. Right now, we're going to join the trail riders. Riding along with them today is Diane Fishley, range conservationist of the U.S. Forest Service, who is an excellent horsewoman and is keenly interested in preserving natural habitat.
Trail riding introduces the Girl Scouts not only to horseback riding, but equally to nature in a way that most have never before encountered it.
We'll follow along to make a special report on this phase of the Girl Scout activities. In moving through country like this, the Girl Scouts not only learn to ride a horse well, but Diane Fishley introduces them to many animals native to this big country, which the girls may not have seen outside of a zoo.
Here upon the plateau of Canyon Creek Canyon, we've come upon one of the area's common predators. Though he's not a terribly large animal, the badger seldom backs down. He's a powerful digger who preys mostly on rodents, and his courage is amazing. He's not afraid to charge almost anything. It's in having experiences with animals like this in the wild that the Girl Scouts come to appreciate the value and place of a wild creature within its own environment.
This area is not only a haven for wildlife, it becomes a learning center for the Girl Scouts.
The trail riders had not gone far when their trail intersected that of the backpackers. It provides Dick Denny with an opportunity to report on what this group of Girl Scouts on foot is doing.
As the trail riders go on without me for a while, I'll observe what these girls are seeing under the expert guidance and instruction of Wildlife Project Director Carolyn Kennedy.
Hey, look what we've got here.
What kind of snake is it?
Looks like a blue racer. He's got blue eyes. And you can see he's gray on top. And what color is he underneath?
White.
It's kind of white and kind of bluish gray on top. And it looks like his eyes are kind of cloudy, which may mean that he's just about to shed his skin.
What does the snake eat?
Well, this one might eat mice that he finds here or lizards.
How does he swallow them?
He just kind of grabs them with his teeth and he kind of crawls around them. So he swallows them. He has no way of chewing them up.
Does he bite?
Well, he might, but I think he looks like he's pretty calm at the moment.
Is he poison or anything?
No, he's not poisonous. We wouldn't be handling him if he was. We'd just leave him right alone if he were a poisonous kind of snake. Okay, so we can tell a blue racer if we see one again. How about if we put him back down here and let's see what happens? See where he goes.
Everywhere the Girl Scouts go here, there is for them a dawning of awareness, the development of new abilities to see and experience and appreciate. They suddenly understand things which prior to this they hardly knew existed. All youngsters are familiar with the raccoon, and yet when seen like this, under natural conditions and free to do what it does naturally, and with its actions and natural history explained in detail by Carolyn Kennedy, then suddenly it is no longer just a funny animal out of storybooks or just a cute and curious furry little animal. It is instead part of the balance of nature, an integral link in the chain of life. Though it seems to be little more than a playful resident of the area, it is much more. It is the beginning of knowledge for the Girl Scouts. They learn that nothing in nature is unimportant, that all living things have their place and their function. With such understanding comes a deep and fundamental respect and appreciation for nature wherever encountered. Nature is beauty and balance and the mainspring of all life. And sometimes, it's the source of amusement. Now, with the Girl Scout backpackers moving on again, there is still time to accompany the trail riders a little farther. This area they're approaching is an especially popular one because here, each year, a bobcat has raised her litter of kittens. This year is no exception. There are 2 kittens about 3 or 4 months old.
This vicinity is the whole world for the kittens, and it's a small world. but it's one of expanding horizons. Soon they'll be adults on their own. In a similar way, the horizons of the Girl Scouts are also expanding. These kittens sometimes find the going tough and the obstacles all but insurmountable. But in learning the lessons of self-reliance, they'll become strong adults before long. The Girl Scouts involved here also develop self-reliance and concern for what happens to the world of the out-of-doors. What better way to promote the ideals of conservation in the next generation of adults?
This part of the program at Girl Scout National Center West is very important because the young people are learning to appreciate the wildlife and the land it inhabits.
The keen interest in wildlife being instilled in young girls through programs initiated by the Girl Scouts of the United States of America is paying dividends. Through direct contact and strong involvement, the girls are being imbued with a permanent sense of concern for nature and especially for the wildlife which inhabits our world. By learning as youngsters to appreciate and care for the world of the out-of-doors, they become, as adults, an asset to their community and their country. This sort of long-range investment in young people by the Girl Scouts cannot help but pay substantial dividends in the future. Beyond any doubt, our young people today represent the future of the wild kingdom.
Mutual of Omaha, people you can count on, has presented Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.